Hello, my name's Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to make you a very beautiful video coming from the beach, a very secluded spot on the beach. What a beautiful, amazing, wonderful spot to talk to you guys about jade and how powerful jade is. People sometimes ask, show us the gemstone. That's jade. There you go. You can see 100,000 different kinds of jade. I have yellow jade in my belt. I have so many different kinds of jade. I have orange jade, yellow jade, so many different kinds of jade. I actually have purple or violet jade up here. There's every color of jade. There's blue jade. I'm going to talk to you all about jade in this video. I'm going to talk to you about every color of jade and how to remember jade, how to really just take jade in, how to know jade, how to just flat out not have to remember jade anymore. And you'll just really remember jade. It'll stay with you in this video. So I'm gonna start teaching about crystals and elements soon, or in this video. Starting in this video, I'm going to start teaching about them and their elements. And I've actually found out a way to teach you about the elements in crystals so you can actually access the power within the gemstones through their elements. This is a first for me in a long time. I've been actually putting some of this knowledge to the test. It's very powerful. I'll surprise you with jade. Although I'm using an example such as aquamarine, it's the element of water to make it nice and simple. And yes, my hands are sandy. So with aquamarine being the element of water, water's fluid. People who are water signs or who have lots of water will tend to be a little more emotional in a good way and a bad way. It's no good and bad, it's just polarities. And they'll be emotional and people will come to them because they are the most helpful people emotionally, or they're the people who can be the most emotional. So same thing with fire signs. They're the most fiery. People come to them for warmth, or people will get burnt by them in their path coming from a fire sign. Air signs, earth signs, etc. I'll teach all about that and everything in between. But straight into jade right now, this is an earth crystal and water. It's primarily earth, secondhand water. It also has some very small fire element energies in jade, so I'll explain about that soon. Let's talk about generally green jade, or just jade in general. I'm going to talk about jade and jadeite. Jadeite is an elite version of jade. It's much more rare. There's different kinds of jadeite. There's gem jadeite, which is like the rarest of the rare. It's like that one's it's very expensive and it's very rare. It's like almost none of it left now. And there's jade as in the jadeite, which you see in, like, they'll make plates out of, cups out of. I have jadeite on FloridaStoneman.com. How cool. I have really good jadeite. It's what they call the general jadeite, Chinese jadeite. They have nephrite jade, which is Canadian jade. They're all good. So there are small differences, but they're a little different, but they're the same at the same time. But let's talk about what jade does. And yes, I have sand. I actually sat down in the sand and I just wiped my face, and I might have a little sand here and there, but the element of the sand, I'll teach about in the future what sand means spiritually and which crystals you can connect to the element of sand. And what happens when I'm talking about elements now? What is connecting to an element? You tap into its energies. So when you learn about crystals based on their elements, you can understand them a little bit better and a little easier. So that's my goal on this channel, is to make it more relatable, more something you live. It's not something you just remember. But jade is the earth element mainly for most jades. So it also has some air elemental energy in it too, but mainly earth. So every crystal will have every element in it, but think of jade as green, grass green. And like I said, not all jade's green, but it all goes by the standard. There's even black jade, which I'll talk about. Jade is incredibly all around for every single color. Remember these two words: peace, tranquility. Peace and tranquility. If you ask a lot of angels their favorite gemstones, one of them will always be jade, because it's such a heavenly crystal. It's one of the crystals in heaven. It is absolutely gorgeous. Now, when it comes to jade, this is a heavenly stone. It has to do. It's such an angelic stone. There's so many different green crystals. This one sticks out the absolute most. People think it's the luckiest crystal in the world. It can be in its own sense, but Green Aventurine takes the cake for being the luckiest crystal ever. Jade is about, it helps you feel grounded. I call jade the green dragon. And this will help you remember the gemstone as well. Remember how I said it's earth element, a little bit of wind. So the dragon has the wings, but it's not always flying. So jade, okay, it's more of a stability financial stone. So let's talk about it in aspect of finances, because I have to tell you how this gemstone relates to financial abundance, love, peace, tranquility, happiness. This crystal is a slow abundant stone, but people are like, oh, slow, no thank you. Versus this actually protects your finances. Like I said, the earth element is all about stability and grounding. It's actually, when it comes to law, earth element is the best element for gemstones to work with. So you work with the crystal that's very grounding, such as hematite, because it grounds the energies you want into existence, and it repels the other energies you really don't want out. So jade will help you feel secure and grounded. Even though it's green, I would not put any form of jade on your anklets, or you can put it as a belt depending on its color. But jade is really good for peace and tranquility. I'm about to make every jade really easy for you right now. I'll explain it in depth, but here's the rule of thumb. Repeat after me. Peace, tranquility. Peace, and you guys are home saying tranquility. Good. Now, what's the heart chakra have to do with? It has to do with finances and love. Peace, tranquility, finances, and love. Let's talk about the third eye with blue jade. Peace, tranquility, or blue jade as in throat chakra, or depending on how blue it is or what kind of shade. We could just think, let's talk about the throat chakra first. Peace, tranquility, communication. The third eye for the darker blue jades, peace, tranquility, intuition. Oh, you're knowing every color of jade right now. White jade, which is really cool. I actually have white jade in my crown back here. But peace, tranquility, connection to the heavens, the higher self, above the firmament, the biggest version of us that we're moving closer to the Most High God to become the best version of us. That's what the crown chakra is about, which I'll explain about the crown chakra in the future. But peace, tranquility. Let's go below the heart chakra, the solar plexus chakra. Peace, tranquility, manifestation, confidence, abilities that relate to wealth and abundance as well. So every chakra can relate to wealth and abundance, but on different levels. The root chakra can relate to wealth and abundance. Smoky quartz can be a wealth and abundance crystal, for example. So let's talk about the sacral chakra, the orange one. Peace, tranquility, energy. So it's also, the sacral and the solar plexus chakra is associated more with fame and fortune and abundance and wealth and prosperity. So when you wear yellow and orange jade, you'll have better business connections, etc. Let's talk about black jade. And black jade is technically really, really, really dark green jade, but we call it black. It's peace, tranquility, protection, but specifically protection against energy vampires. It's the strongest. It's actually the second strongest crystal next, and it beats black kyanite. So black jade is almost as strong as black tourmaline. We found the gemstone as strong as black tourmaline. Black jade is an anti-vampire stone. It's nearly as powerful as black tourmaline, but not as powerful. Black tourmaline trumps everything. So black jade and black tourmaline together? Can you imagine? So let's talk more about jade and how it attracts financial abundance, because everyone knows jade money, jade wealth. I'm gonna tell you right now, jade is good for your finances, specifically because the earth element protects what you have. So let's talk about the green dragon again. Let's get back on that subject. The green dragon, if you keep in mind, if you Google a picture of dragons, and you'll see a dragon guarding a hoard. That's normally what they do. Dragons like to guard their gold. They might claim the gold, then they'll guard it, and nothing will be able to take it away from the dragon. Things will try, but nothing seems to succeed. Even some of the most mightiest of warriors in fantasy video games or whatever will fall to the dragon, and the dragon will just have a bunch of bones around it. But same thing when it comes to jade and your finances, because jade actually keeps the energies of wealth and abundance, and it protects it. So it creates like a dome around it, like a shield, like a wall. And it allows your finances to grow and flourish. I'm gonna tell you something really cool, guys. I accidentally left jade next to one of my plants. And I had 2 identical plants. And I left jade next to one of them. The one with a jade flourished and it grew. The other one stayed the same because it didn't have jade. My message is get jade from FloridaStoneman.com. I mean, that's not the essence of the message, but you can get jade from FloridaStoneman.com. But what happens when you don't have jade versus when you do have jade? Well, when you don't have jade, certain aspects of your finances won't be defended like that. So jade is literally like it's like a spiritual bank almost. It's a protector of energies. It's a gemstone that just guards. It's a guardian gemstone. It's the guardian green dragon. It's the green dragon that sits on top of gold. So it'll accumulate wealth over time, but then it will defend it. And keep in mind, and I'm going to tell you how to activate jade too. In this video, you'll activate jade by asking the Most High God to activate your jade. You'll take your jade and you'll pray over it. God, this gemstone comes from you. I ask for your blessings upon this gemstone. I ask for you to empower the gemstone. I ask for you to make the gemstone stronger than it normally can be. And guess what? Your jade will start working like magic. Everything starts with God. Everything will end with God too. Is that a plane in the background? I see birds, 3 birds flying over and I see a plane. I always love... I don't know if I can show you the birds. There you go. So that's a sign from above. So praying over your jade is going to be very powerful for activating it, especially because this crystal is associated with the heavens. There's jade in heaven and there's jade on earth. God created the heavens and the earth, and when he created the earth and the heavens, he saw that it was good, especially with what the natural gemstones he put in the earth. So jade, for example, is extremely powerful. Let's talk about nephrite jade versus jadeite, because I did talk about that earlier. And I'll get back to the dragon example soon. When it comes to nephrite jade is more of a guardian crystal, versus jadeite is more for tranquility. It's for abundance. It's more of an attractive crystal to wealth and abundance, versus nephrite jade will guard it. It's only like a 15% difference between their energies, but at that point it doesn't make much of a difference, although it does make somewhat of a difference, okay? So jade is extremely powerful at attracting wealth in a slow manner. So a slow manner in the sense that you keep it. It's kind of like, you can think of jade as the oak tree that took like 80 years to come up, which it won't take you 80 years. But when a storm hits it, it's staying. It's not going anywhere. So it really preserves those energies that you have of abundance. Because sometimes some of you will just have one wrong friend come along, and then the wrong friend will mess up your energy. And then with jade, it's like, nope, the energy is like rooted in there. So that's very powerful. Let's talk about jade in the fire element. So like a dragon, most of the time the dragon's going to be sitting on top of the gold. The green dragon, the guardian dragon. So this dragon's going to be like on top of the gold, sleeping on the gold, making sure it's not going anywhere. It's kind of like a spiritual bank, like I said. So what happens when someone tries to take the energies of your abundance? Or what kind of energies, entities, etc. will try to impose on your space? Jade's a good protection crystal too. It literally takes a fire element, you could think of it like a green fire. In Chinese cultures, they called it, ancient Chinese cultures, they call it like the jade fire, the jade flame. And it hits them with a very specific green fire, like a green energy of just heat. Like kind of like what they think of a copper fire, like green flame, which you see in science. So it hits people and energies with this spiritual flame of, hey, don't take my abundance. And that frequency of fire, and it might sound kind of otherworldly to you, or for some people, they know the heart chakra is the highest frequency. So they're being hit with a very high frequency defensive fire, like just a quick one. Because when the adventurer wanders into the cave and tries to steal the dragon's hoard, and then there's no more fight. It's over with. It's just over with. So let's talk about the air element with jade. So jade can basically move things towards you. So it can do it slowly. So like I said, planes and helicopters flying over and whatnot. But even though it's a tranquil spot, which actually fits jade. But jade is very good for moving stuff towards you slowly. So sometimes dragons will fly. So with the air element in jade, it kind of gravitates stuff towards you. It kind of moves stuff towards you in a very stable way so that it can't be taken away. So that's a really cool way to teach about jade. Black jade's extremely powerful. All the jades are really cool. So there's different legends behind different jade. I'm going to tell you the most. For the people who watch my videos at the very end, you get the most gems. That's just how it is. For people who are looking for quick information, then they won't get the gems on my channel. So the most powerful aspect about jade is, you know how in this entire video I've been talking about preservance and jade being a guardian? It's a guardian of your age. Wow. For the people who really deserve this knowledge, they'll find this knowledge, but it protects your age. It protects how you age. So if you pay attention to certain people in Chinese civilizations, like the emperors and empresses, when they wore jade their entire lives, they didn't look their age when it was time for them to go in the next world. And they even wanted to take the jade with them. They say, bury the jade with us, bury the jade with us. And they'd actually bury the jade with some of the emperors and empresses, and they'd put the jade in museums. They would name their jade because they love their jade so much. Jade is one of those crystals that's an alive crystal. It's alive. So it actually defends your age. It preserves your age. That's why they have jade facial rollers. Disclaimer, this is a spiritual video, so I'm talking about the spiritual aspects, but jade has the energies of the fountain of youth. So you could be at you can go throughout time and you'll keep your spiritual age, okay? You'll look a lot younger spiritually, okay? That's all I can say, because I can go deep into that, but I just gave a very major secret away. So you guys can piece that together by yourselves. Jade has the energies of the fountain of youth. It will take you back in time more than 10 years. If you age with jade, your jade ages with you. Secret about jade, jade's alive. For some reason, the gemstones, like other green gemstones like malachite, it has its own mind. So after 3 months, the general term of time is 3 months, your jade binds to you. I call this a soul bind. This happens in video games where this is a really good example, because in a video game, when you soul bind something, or when you use it, you can't trade it anymore. You can't sell it. So you'll never want to get used jade ever, because it won't react to you. It just won't. It'll look at you and be like, this isn't my owner. It's not my owner. So jade from thrift stores, jade from others, it won't react to you. It'll just be a gemstone at that point. It'll actually work for the person, whoever it belongs to, whether they're alive or whether they're dead. So it'll try to move your energies towards the person. So you don't want to get used jade like that. It'll try to benefit its owner. So if you've had jade for 3 months, it's your jade now. It only works for you. That's jade being very personal. It's a very personalized gemstone. So jade binds. You can name your jade if you'd like. Not like an idol in any form, but kind of like it has its own energy. So these crystals are tools to the Most High God. You can almost name it like as if it's a pet. That's the easiest way to describe it, because it's alive, it's thinking. It literally is able to perform certain tasks and stuff like that. But I'll talk about that in future videos. Your jade's very alive and thinking. So back then in ancient China, they had jade, and they actually named some of their, I don't know what they named it. It's like, you can name it like something that represents abundance. You can just call your jade abundance, for example. Call your jade prosperity. Give it an affirmation. You can call your jade money magnet. You can call it like something like that. That's the most helpful for you guys. So I have the best of the best of the best jade at floridastoneman.com. That is FLORIDA stoneman.com. You guys know what Florida Stoneman and how it's spelled. It's in the description. Check out my website. I have and like I said, there are many different kinds of jade. There are jade from several different parts of the world. I only get ethically harvested jade. There are some parts in the world where there's child labor over jade, and that energy behind the jade is not so good. versus when you get jade from FloridaStoneman.com. And if you see cheap jade, you're probably getting child labor jade. Yay! You can go on to certain websites, I'm not going to say, with orange logos, and you'll get really cheap jade. And how many children have actually fallen into a little, collapsed into a mountain of rubble trying to get the jade? Do your research behind jade, because there's actually people, if you're getting cheap jade, it's either fake or you got jade that someone died over, a kid died over, or multiple kids died over. So if you're being cheap with your spirituality will be cheap with you. And if now, since you know that, and you get that cheap jade anyway, like really, really cheap child labor jade, now you have that karma on you. That's a really bad karma, and your luck will go out the window. Versus when you use a very good jade from FloridaStoneman.com, you know it's ethically mined, ethically harvested, and there's really good energy behind it. And some people will actually hold jade incorrectly. So sometimes people will buy jade from a source where the source has had the jade a little too close to them. Remember how I said some crystals keep their memory? Onyx is a crystal that keeps its memory. So if you've had onyx from someone who has lots of arguments and fights, when you get the onyx, you're gonna have lots of arguments and fights. So same thing with jade. If it was too close to the owner, like I keep my jade locked away. I keep it in a chest. If it's too close to its owner, it'll be serving its owner. So sometimes when you get jade from other people, they don't know that. So you're, like I said from earlier, the energies from you is actually going to them passively without them even knowing it, or anyone really knowing it, because that's just jade. Like I said, it binds to its owner. It's like, hey, I know my owner. I do this because, like I said, if you keep it even around you, that's the thing with onyx too. Like you get onyx from someone who, let's just say they have night terrors, for example, and that onyx just stays next to their bed, or it stays in their room too close to them. It's literally looking at that person like this, trying to work on their energy from a distance, and it's remembering what's going on, so it can remember it and make sure that person doesn't have to go through that again and try to remember it. But if the person hasn't passed the obstacle or blockage, it'll bring it up 100,000 times just so the person's able to pass it. Jade works very differently, but very similarly, in the sense that jade remembers, like, hey, this is my owner, I'll serve my owner. So that's it. If any questions at all, ask them in the comment section. This is a longer video because jade's actually one of the most powerful crystals ever for wealth and abundance, if you truly understand it. So check out FloridaStoneman.com. Most importantly, ask God to bless your jade when you get your jade. It makes it 100,000 times stronger, okay? When you go through the Most High to use your gemstones is when you use them correctly. For people who think just the gemstones do their job, they'll find sometimes that they face a certain blockage because they're not connecting to the Most High God. So this is Secrets About Jade. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.